YouTube, J.J.Abrams here, once again, for about the third time in a row. And I'm going to do another movie review for you. This time I'm going to be doing the movie directed by J.J.Abrams, 2009 Star Trek. Now, first of all, let me just say, I'm not really much of a Star Trekky fan. But when I saw X-Men Origins Wolverine, I think I saw a trailer for this movie, and it looked pretty decent. I think it looked to be a really good science fiction movie with good, decent action and everything. And so I decided, oh well, this probably looks good after all. So I decided not to watch any of the others and just decided to just go with this one and just see how it turned out. So I went and saw it, and although in some ways I was a bit disappointed with the movie, I did actually end up enjoying it. So anyway, so the plot of the movie first basically is that James T. Kirk, who's portrayed by Chris Pine, his dad gets killed at the start of the movie in some sort of incident to protect his spaceship from the antagonist of the movie. And later on, someone comes up to Chris, I think it's someone who knew his father, talks to James about saying that you can stick with his life he has now, or trying to do better than his father and just help save the world, basically. And then, so obviously the rest of the film is them trying to stop the villains. So that's like a pretty basic plot. Okay, maybe it's not the best, I apologise. But anyway, let's get into this review. Now, first of all, I've not seen Chris Pine in many. In fact, this is the first action movie I've actually seen Chris Pine in. I've not seen him in anything other than comedy films. I've seen him in Princess Diaries too. Thought he was hilarious in that movie. And but he actually did a good job. I think he did a really good job as James T. Kirk. You know, it's like he's got the quirkiness of his character. He's got humour. He's got like dedication to what's right. You know, it does end up being pretty enjoyable, and I think that, you know, his portrayal, I was laughing at his character half the time, but overall, I think Chris Pine did a good balance of humour and also sticking to like the heroic pose, because he's the main character of Star Trek. Who else is there? I can't remember who plays Spock, but whoever did it played him really well. I think that the emotionless expressions on his face until a certain point in the movie, I thought was quite well done, actually, to be honest. I know I've been telling a lot of people that I didn't like this movie quite a lot. Well, or make it sound like it anyway, but I actually did enjoy this movie. Not quite as much as Wolverine, but, you know, I still liked it. Anyway, but back into the acting, I think that whoever played Spock did a really, really good job of the performance on how to make his character emotionless, and then at a certain point in the film, he obviously switches sides, and then of course him and James T. Kirk work together for the climax of the film. Simon Pegg, who plays Scotty, I thought he was hilarious. It's a shame that he only got brought in throughout the last third of the film, which I think was a bit disappointing. But other than that, I liked his performance. He really helped save the movie, I think. You know, he was funny and quite witty as well. Like saying, "I love this ship. It's amazing." That type of thing. I loved the way he said that. It was hilarious. So that's like pretty much like the acting sort of thing over and done with. Now let's get into the film in general. Film in general, there were some things that did and didn't work. The things that did work was first of all, the music was really great. The music was fantastic. This is one of the prime movies that I think has a really fantastic score. It has a very good way of fitting in the adventure that the movie presents to its audience, and obviously there's a bit of the music, you know, that can represent humour. There's not much I can really say much else about this movie, but I'll try and think of more. Anyway, again, there was comedy as well. You know, Chris Pine does a good job. I think it's a good experience from comedy movies that allow them to sort of help thrive in a movie like this. But I think he did a decent job with comedy. I think his character made me laugh a couple of times, admittedly. And he has a good boyishness that, you know, that I loved watching on screen. Now, that's pretty much what I loved, but I didn't love, but what I really liked about it. Now, there were some things I didn't really like about it. First of all, I think that even though it is funny sometimes, I think the movie kind of didn't take itself seriously enough. I kind of feel that, you know, it was just focusing too much on the humour, and it was a bit slow in the start. I think it took a little bit long to try to kind of kick into gear. So that's like one thing. Another thing was that I think that Simon Pegg's character Scotty could have been brought in a little bit sooner, because he was part of the reason I went to see this, because I loved his work. I've loved Shaun of the Dead, I've loved Hot Fuzz. The Run Fat Boy Run was fantastic in that. I've loved his movies, but I think his character could have been brought in a little bit more. And I think J.J. Abrams, who directed this, he directed Mission Impossible 3, you know, he had Simon Pegg also in that, which was pretty good. But I think in this, because in Mission Impossible 3 he kind of had a good balance, you know, he was in brought in at the right amount of times. This one I think could have been brought in a little bit sooner, but again, that's me. Another thing that didn't work, I think, was that maybe the final battle was a little bit anticlimactic, a little bit short. But other than that, you know, see, there were strong things I didn't like about this movie, but again, I think it is kind of something I've seen in Star Wars. That could just be me, though. Probably because I've seen Star Wars and like that. I was a little disappointed with this. But it's still really good. I did find it to be very enjoyable. I mean, it's not really good or great, but I would still find it's a decent film to watch. So overall, I'm going to give Star Trek a grade of 3 stars out of 5, and my grading system means that it's a decent movie that's probably it's good to watch only once, in my opinion. I like to watch it once, see how it is. You know, and there's some movies I like to watch over and over again, but this one I think I maybe not in, unless I was with some friends on DVD, I might not watch it again. But other than that, I did enjoy this movie. So, 3 out of 5 for Star Trek. Decent movie. I would recommend it to science fiction fans. It's a good science fiction movie. It really displays that really well. It's got good comedy, it's got action, you know, and it's got a really good cast. So, the final message, good job J.J. Abrams on Star Trek. Till next time you choose, Michael Bowers signing out.